who would be some of the biggest people in Ukraine that is widely respected by others that would come out and say, we need Oleksii as our president? Would the military be on your side? Would the economy be on your side? Would business people be on your side? What sect would be out there saying, we're for Oleksii?
I have direct support from the side of the business, middle business, large business. I have enough support among the military. I'm a Ukrainian officer, lieutenant colonel in Ukrainian army, 2.5 years on the front line and overall. And I have enough support. I'm a volunteer who brings and gathers a lot of support and help for the Ukrainian army. And I have a significant support among the people. And it's difficult to measure that at this time. I think that you understand that right now it's just a general understanding. But once the presidential candidates will be registered, this is always becomes a specific choice. The value of the program you're announcing, the value of your team, the value of every word you say. After the official registration, it's not just people from your country, people from other countries listen to you. That combines both of your questions. So for now, it's just people looking overall at the situation. But over there, it's going to be a real battle of statements, programs. I can tell you that for now, I have sufficient supporters in all of the spheres of life of Ukraine. I can tell you I'm in direct contact with them.
You're for sure very popular. I mean, your online following is in the millions. People listen to you, and every time you're putting a live, millions of views, 500,000, 2.2 million, 1.2 million. But I couldn't find anything in English. The only thing I saw in English was one you did 11 months ago with somebody. I don't know who it was. And how many English podcasts have you done? Is it just one that you've done?
When the war has begun, I was made about 30 English podcasts every day. The first 100 days.
Yourself, or did you go on
myself.
other people's shows?
No, it's just other people's shows. I spoke with CNN, with Fox News, and you can find it. Just switching on the air.
And I know you did something with Lex Friedman, because I think that would be the one.
Yes, two times.
2 times, but neither one of them went live.
No one.
What happened there?
I don't know. We have to ask Lex.
Okay, got it. Okay, because I know he's a true believer of what's going on there, and Lex is a guy that wants peace, and he's coming from a place of. You can tell he's coming from a genuine. I don't know him. We don't have a relationship. But is your plan? Because when I watch what Milei did, Argentina, socialist, they don't want Milei, libertarian. He's crazy, kissing girls, doing all this stuff. His campaign was very weird, loud, afuera, all this stuff that he's doing. Yeah, exactly, right? Bukele, young guy coming up, Bitcoin, crypto, all this stuff. There was things that were different, right? So even if you go to Viktor Orban, there's a lot of them that we can go through. Meloni from Italy, or all these things that we're talking about. Viktor from Hungary. Where would you put yourself politically? Are you a conservative? Are you a libertarian? Are you as a person, your background, faith, theology, things that you've studied? Where would you put yourself politically?
Yeah,
I am more of a right-centrist.
Right-centrist.
Right-centrist,
okay.
Yes.
Economically, you're a capitalist.
Yes,
so
absolutely, yes.
Absolutely.
I'm a conservator by the mindset.
Okay, and then woke, completely anti-woke. Nothing with you is woke.
No,
right? You're not going to try to turn.
Absolutely not. I completely understand who is the people are, and what is the ideology inside they use. I'm against them.
Well, one thing that I will say is I really enjoyed talking to you. One thing that I will say is Milei made us be interested in Argentina. Bukele made us be interested in El Salvador. Viktor Orban made us be interested in Hungary, right? And they did a phenomenal job of us being interested in some of these regions. I think the fact that you're creating content right now is phenomenal. But the people that are listening to you are your people that are listening to you. I think if there's more outer people that are also supporting you, we had Dominik Tarczynski on from Poland. Okay, he was a Polish parliament, I think, and then he was also part of NATO or UN. He was part of UN as well, if I'm not mistaken. Member of the European Parliament, EU, member of the European Parliament, and he was a Polish politician. We had him on, did an interview, 25 million views, all the clips combined. And then we had him on our election night when he was there. Everybody wants him to be the president of Poland now. You know, they want him to run in March, April, because this guy's like, so the exposure to English-speaking audiences got people more interested in supporting him, saying, here's the, and that's kind of helping as well. So for you, where you're going, you know, I'd be curious to know if you're going to take that route and be doing more of these types of conversations, especially at a time like this, because let's just say this does come to an end when Trump and them meet and there's peace. Let's say then you're comfortable to go back and you start campaigning and you're speaking openly all over the place. Momentum rises saying, here's somebody that can be the next president there. That could make for a very interesting story.
Yes, that can be. Look, for Ukraine, exposure before English-speaking audiences, more over United States, is one of the key things, because the very existence of Ukraine depends on 80% from the help that America gives. Not a single Ukrainian can be indifferent toward American audience and their points of view of Americans onto what happens in Ukraine. The person who is represented here, of course, receives a very strong shoulder of support, but the very fact of having an interview for the English-speaking audience, American audience. With regards to the two main points, I want to say the same thing. I'm intending to be a president for all Ukrainians and not just for my supporters. So people who maintain opposing ideologies will still be under protection. Their rights will be defended. They will have a right to voice, because there must be freedom of speech. There must be a battle of arguments and not just suppressing one of the sides. That's a key. And the second point, I'm not a liberal like Millet, but I am a supporter of maximum freedom in economics. Ukraine is now on 116th or maybe 123rd place according to Freedom for Economy. It's a shame. Russia, we call them totalitarian, authoritarian state, is on 109th place, so they have a higher ranking than us. So my goal is to liberalize to the maximum the economy and allow people to make money, give them freedom of speech, and defend their freedoms and rights and expand them. So I'm encouraged by the example of Millet and the leaders you named, but I have my own view on things, and my approach is rather more American. Maximum private and corporate rights have to be given to the maximum to the people, and the state needs to dictate the main guidelines, fighting corruption, maintaining those guidelines for the society and economy, and external policy will be the strategical development of the country and relationships with the neighbors. That's my view. The state needs to be shrinked down. The whole government needs to be shrunk down. They should not own anything. That belongs to the private people, and they should not meddle directly into the ideological war, rather to create an atmosphere where some people cannot oppress others using organizations, government agencies, foreign partners, influences, and help from abroad, but provide for the true freedom of speech that we never had in Ukraine. And when the true battle of arguments, ideologies begins, that will provide for the true development of the country, regardless of who the leader is. My goal is to create a system of rules, and I believe that the quality of a politician is defined by his ability to provide continuity. Imagine I'm lucky and I get reelected, I have 10 years. So the goal for these 10 years is to place foundations that cannot be rolled back, even if my opponents come to power afterwards, to create mechanisms in the country that will hold for the future free economy and freedom and protected. This is a set of tasks. It will be difficult to achieve, but this is exactly what I am aiming to do.
I'm excited to see what you do next. And I'm glad we made this work. I really enjoyed the conversation we had. For the audience watching this, we're going to put the link below to all the channels and everything that you have so they can go out there and find you. And remember, this is also translated in Russian. If anybody wants to watch it, the link will also be below. You're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but the last 13 and a half years, I've been working on my first fiction book to write, ever. Fiction book to write. And while I finished this book a year ago, I got the strangest phone call about one of the characters in the book where the guy wanted to meet with me and he read the book. And afterwards is like, wait a minute, am I the villain in the book? This is a story about a character named Asher, who is half Armenian, half Assyrian. whose father was involved in the Iranian Revolution, linked to Savak, working with the Shah, that they escape and he gets recruited to a secret society. When you go to the secret society, it's been around for a couple thousand years. They've developed some of the craziest leaders of all time. And they test you. There's unique tests that they have at this society where they test to see your emotional mental toughness. One of the tests that they have is very rigorous. It's purely mental. Of course, there's a physical one, but one is mental and emotional. If you're Armenian, if you're Syrian, if you're Persian, this is a book you're going to be reading and saying, holy moly, this is the kind of stuff you talk about in here? Yes. If you're somebody that's fascinated by history, this is a book for you. Characters. There's a technology that this society, secret society, builds where you go into a vault. I won't spoil it for you. When you go down, they have a technology where you get to sit down and watch and have a 3-4 hour conversation with Tupac. You can set up a debate between Karl Marx and Ayn Rand. Karl Marx is in the book, who wrote Communist Manifesto. Ayn Rand, who wrote Atlas Shrugged, is in the book. Marilyn Monroe explains the concept of seduction and sex in the book. When you read the book, it's about development of the next leaders in the world and how they do it and how they've been doing it for many years. And it's also about how to prevent the end of civilization and how this organization goes about doing it. So, I've never written a parenting book before, but if I ever wrote a parenting book, this is the closest thing to it because it's all mindset, a lot of crazy stories. Again, 13 and a half years. Trust me, I told myself I will not publish this book until I sell my insurance company and I'm fully disconnected from it, where it's no longer my responsibility 100%. When you read this, if you're a creative person, if you like fiction books, if you enjoyed Atlas Shrugged, or if you enjoy Divergent, if you like books like that, I think you're going to enjoy reading this book. It's the creative side. Business books is very easy. Here's how you do it. Here's how this how it works. This is very creative. If you haven't placed the order yet, now you can order it on Simon & Schuster, Amazon. I'm going to put the link up below somewhere here, maybe even in my profile. Go order the book and read it. I've never written a book where I can't wait to read your reviews to see what you think about this book. So I'm going on this wild journey and we have some plans with this book here. If you support the things that I work on, I would appreciate you going and reading the book, order the book on Amazon, and then post a review. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.